wall, it was cut by 80%. I mean, it obviously was a defensive act.
Why do you need to build it on Palestinian land? Why did you not build it on your own territory if you needed the wall?
We didn't build it on Palestinian land. Most of the wall is on the border. You must be aware of it.
85% of its route extends into the West Bank, according to Human Rights Watch.
No, sir.
85%. They're wrong.
No, sir.
They're all wrong.
No, it's only 8% of the West Bank which is within the wall, and this is because of the defensive line. But we would never have in mind to build a wall. What for? You know, between us and the Jordanians, there is no walls, no minefields, no fences, nothing whatsoever. And what is the difference?
Why not build it within your own territory?
We build it on the border, and we build it...
You build it beyond the border?
No, we build it at the places from where the suicidal bombers came. We didn't build it to conquer land, we built it to defend our lives. We have 400 kilometers of border with the Jordanians. Not a single stone, not a single fence, not a single wall. Why don't you look it? What is the difference?
Gentleman in the first row there.
Good evening, Mr. Peres. Every Jew in the world has a right to an Israeli citizenship, even if he or she doesn't have a clue where Israel is or haven't seen Israel. Yet a Palestinian who has been born, raised, and his whole family for centuries has been there is excluded from the same right, based on religion. Does this mean that Israel, a country, is built on exclusivity of Jewish supremacy and a type of racism?
If you go back on history, why go back just on centuries? Why wouldn't you go back to millenniums? Where does past begin? At the convenience of your point of view? Or at the early days? The early days, as you know, there were not Arabs in Israel. So, I mean, if you go to the past, it's endless. Go to the future. Now, let me tell you about being Jewish and being Arabs. I know, to be honest, that many Arabs would like to wake up in the morning and see instead of the Israelis sweets, for example. I know that many Israelis would like to wake up one morning and see instead of the Arabs Dutch, for example. It won't happen. You can't change neither your parents nor your neighbors. We have to negotiate with you as you are, in full respect. You have to negotiate with us as we are, with all the difficulties. We are not going to change neither our content or personality. And I believe it's possible. All of us are human beings.
But we're talking about a Israeli citizenship.
And if you want to go to the past, why wouldn't you begin with Abraham? By the way, the Palestinians and the Muslims are saying that all of us are children of Abraham. Was Abraham an Arab? Abraham was Jewish. So what? If we are the children of Abraham, so should be brothers.
What we're talking about, Mr. Peres, is the Israeli citizenship as well.
It won't help the citizenship. You have Iraqi citizenship. Does this prevent a fight between the Sunnites and the Shiites? Look, you must follow ethnicity. There are 24 Arab countries. What is an Arab country? A country where the Arabs are a majority. If you try to change the majority, you may do it, but then you'll have a conflict. There is a single state where I have a Jewish majority. You can't take it away from us, because then we shall not be a Jewish state, and the conflict will go on. The passport will not overpass the conflict, as we see in Algeria, as we see in Iraq, as we see in Sudan. It's not an answer. And you know what we have? We are 7 million people today in Israel. 1.4 are Arabs. They are full citizens. They have equal right. And if there is the slightest discrimination we are trying to overcome, among them you have today already 50,000 academicians. Every year, 19,000 young Arabs, boys and girls, are registering in the universities. You know, out of the 50,000 academicians. Many of them are doctors. They work in the Israeli hospitals. And you'll come into a hospital, you wouldn't distinguish between an Arab and a Jewish doctor, or between an Arab and a Jewish nurse. If we can handle our health and life together, why should we fight?
Could we have one from Dana Sheikh Mahmoud, please? Dana Sheikh Mahmoud.
You said, I quote, "The president of Iran should remember that Iran can also be wiped off the map. Would Israel launch a strike against Iran's nuclear facilities like it did against Iraq in the 80s?
We never said it. Look, we don't have any problems with Iran. Historically, we have had excellent relations with Iran, under Cyrus, for example, as a king, under the last king. The problem is not Iran, the problem is Ahmadinejad. It's a problem